All right. Well, thank you everyone who's watching on this. I'm Mike McCumber from DigiFabster. I'm a marketing manager here. I'm joined by Constantine, who is our founder and CEO. And then we are joined by DigiFabster customer Jeff Lewis from CADimensions. He's the VP of Operations. How are things going today, Jeff?
Things are going well. Thanks for having me.
Good. You bet. Constantine, any opening words?
Yeah, so we're just extremely exciting to, run this first episode with Jeff, of course, and again, really exciting to hear your story. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, great. So, Jeff, you're the VP of Operations there. You're out of the Syracuse, New York, so upstate New York. Describe a little bit about your business. So, it looks like you offer customers a bunch of different products and services. So, describe kind of the maturity of your business, or kind of that path that took you from, looks like being a SolidWorks reseller, and then reselling 3D printing hardware, and then a lot of services. So it looks like you're a bit of a one-stop shop, multifaceted company, which is very interesting. So talk us through that evolution or progression and kind of what drove that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, here at CADimensions, our goal is really to provide, solutions and tools for our customers so they can impact the world. CADimensions was founded actually before SolidWorks. So in 1990, CADimensions was founded, and we made our start in 2D CAD and CAD key systems. And then in the mid-90s, our founder and owner was approached by SolidWorks to really take a step into the 3D world and become one of the first resellers for that portfolio, and really solidified our business in the engineering and manufacturing field. So probably for the next decade, that was really the main focus for the business, was around 3D CAD and that evolution, and bringing that to the manufacturing community in upstate New York and in the surrounding areas. As the business evolved and we looked for more ways that we could support our customers and bring more options and more tools to help them produce better products, in the mid-2000s, we brought on our 3D printing line. So we partnered with Stratasys to carry their product portfolio since, I believe, 2003, which has been a great evolution for us to really be able to bring in a complementary tool to not only the CAD side of the business, but to step into the helping in design and prototyping, and now, as we see, getting into more manufacturing. As the business has continued to evolve, we saw needs from our customer base for more services, and using our expertise and knowledge that we have across a lot of different manufacturing communities. So we started to really build out our services and consulting end of the business, whether it's design services or 3D printing services, which is obviously where we use DigiFabster, or consulting services and helping designers and teams perform at a higher level. That's really has been the evolution of CADimensions over the last 33 years now.
That's awesome. So someone can take a bit of a preliminary design to you, or really at the idea stage, right? And then sounds like you can take that thing from idea to them physically having the product or part in their hand.
Yeah, we fully believe that we're napkin sketch to full production, right? To be able to help them from the idea to the concept, to the design work, to putting them in contact, obviously, with our internal printing group. But if they need to get that into production, hooking them up with our customer base that we have to really help guide them through that process.
Yeah. Now, is that done primarily there in the upstate New York region, or do you spread it about a bit?
So we actually cover the entire Northeast from our products, our hardware and software products, but we actually engage with customers on design services and things from all across the country. So we've worked with companies in South Carolina, companies in California, companies in Wisconsin. So our reach has grown a little bit from the typical territory that we're used to, where we have resided with our physical products. But the majority of our customer base is found in that Northeast region.
Yeah, right on. So, I mean, not that it doesn't highlight your uniqueness. I think that breadth of knowledge and services, and really even hardware, right, is a certain differentiator. But outside of my words there, why would someone select you? What makes CADimensions a little bit different? How do you win business?
Yeah, so we believe in fully in the experience that we are able to provide our customers. And we built our experience around our value as a business, which we've emulated in what we call CAD Life. We truly believe in building our customer journey with that in mind, and making sure that our customers are experiencing what we feel is that CAD life experience from the first time they talk to us to the 500th support case maybe that they're putting in over the last 25 years they've been a customer. So we really look to provide a unique and engaging experience, and bring that personal touch to sometimes into a world that is not so personal anymore, but also build in platforms and ability for customers to have access to information, and be able to get the things that they need from us easily, and not necessarily always waiting for that. So it's really that unique experience that we've built from our values as a business, that comes from our owner and what he's established over the last 33 years.
Yeah. I was looking over the CAD life. That's great. Sounds like you guys, have a real bond with your customers, and internally with your team as well. That's definitely builds a strong culture, and it makes a unique presence to your customers. That's really cool.
Yes. So if I may, Jeff, what do you think maybe have changed, especially after COVID? Because obviously all those in-person activities is really matter for people, of course. It's a really big thing. So do you see anything really changed after the COVID happened? And also, do you see any path to e-commerce or more e-commerce in your business? So how you see those things, happen after the COVID?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've definitely seen a shift in our business from COVID to more of a online presence, e-commerce type of experience, whether it's from 3D printer parts or our training, which used to be always in person in an office, and now it's conducted online. But even with that, we still try to bring that uniqueness of CADimensions in every interaction, whether it's a phone call, whether it's an email that we're sending, or it's a meeting that's happening or training that's happening online. We truly try to bring the CAD life experience to our customers, no matter what the medium of conversation is. And we certainly have continued to see, a different type of move to the e-commerce side of things, as well as how we onboard customers. Looking at setting up, we have virtual onboarding now, where we've built platforms for our customers on our software side, where they're able to access key videos on an ongoing basis and those things, which is a lot different than we used to do. And that's really driven by us, making the shift over the last year or so, and trying to continue to make that unique experience and providing them with great value that they can get with CADimensions.
That's great. So it sounds like you were headed in that, self-serve, modern customer experience, even prior to DigiFabster. So what did your from a quoting perspective, what did that interaction look like, or what was your quoting process prior to implementing DigiFabster for quoting in e-commerce?
Yeah, very manual, as I'm sure a lot of your customers had. So we had a very fancy spreadsheet that we built with all of the pricing and all of our materials on the back end. And, typically a customer would request a quote. We'd have to wait for them to send over the files, whether it was email or Dropbox or whatever the avenue would be. Then our application team would take those files, download them, open up our software, grab print for processing. They would spend some time processing those files, and they would enter the material usage, the time, and that sort of thing in that Excel sheet to get out that number or quote that we would then go back and provide the customer. So it was definitely a very manual process that was not really necessarily efficient, not only for the customer, but for our internal team and how they were spending their time. So that was one of the main drivers into DigiFabster, was being able to have not only an online platform for our customers to access that information, but for our own internal team, when they're having conversations with customers or getting files sent to them, that they can go and just upload those parts and not have to worry about all the manual calculation that goes along with it, and everything is done for them and saves us a lot of time on the back end.
Yeah, that's great. So how long would it take in your old process to return a quote back to the customer?
Geez. I think it depends on the complexity, but I would say a simple one was at least a half hour. So by the time that our application engineer would get it, they would look at the files, they would send the pricing back, and then the sales rep would go ahead and quote it. You would talk at least a half hour, and depend on their availability as well. So if they weren't available for a few hours, we could have a half a day to a day until we turned around a quote to a customer. And we knew that in a transactional business, which is, 3D printing parts is, you need to have that quick response. People want to be able to have access to information, understand like, hey, is this the solution that I need? Because I have to make a decision in the next couple hours, not next couple of days per se, for this, on-demand or urgent project they're working on.
Yeah. So what does that process look like now? In other words, I think there's kind of two parts to my question here. What does that process look like from an internal process, and then what does that split look like between people still? I assume you still have people reaching out via email or a phone call, right? And then you process that internally using DigiFabster. Mm-hmm. What percentage is that kind of legacy workflow of email and calling versus people who have adopted the e-commerce solution? It's self-served, I guess.
Self-served, yeah. I would think, for our really existing customers, people who are coming back and buying parts again, those are the ones that typically are just reaching back out with directly to our sales rep that's responsible for it. It's really the new business that we see, new people that we're not aware of, that we're gaining from ad work or whatever that we're not engaged with, that we're seeing use the tool. We definitely have quite a few customers that come in and will make a purchase and have continued to make a purchase through the tool. But we also have those that just kind of have that relationship with our sales rep on that side that will work back and forth. And then he's using the tool on the back end,
yeah, exactly.
which is a big benefit. So whether it's us or them, the true benefit is we're reducing that overhead of time. So I would say we're probably at a 50-50 split between our existing customers coming back with new customers coming in on a regular daily basis, uploading files to our tool, and then we're following up with them from there. That's
great. Yeah. So if they typically, their first interaction is organically going to your website, then they will adopt and see their, you have nice, clear, crisp call to actions. I love the video, right? So you have a video that actually walks people, and we use that, show people that as an example of what to do there. I think that, we're the e-commerce world here in manufacturing, right? I'm sure you see that as silly as it sounds, is new to people, right? So people ordering parts aren't used to that workflow. I mean, I think Xometry kind of is, where does this say, kind of grease the skids for all of us, right? Understanding that that's a workflow that's possible. And, having a video like that is super helpful to make people comfortable, right? Here's what you need to do, really spell it out for them. So nice work there. I'm sure that helps you convert some orders for sure.
Yeah, and I think that's the nice thing about DigiFabster. It gives a company like CADimensions the ability to offer a tool like Xometry, right? Those same type of capabilities on our platform, which enables us to compete better, which is exactly what we're looking to do.
Yeah, talking about the competition. So, do you see any maybe growing competition now in the last couple of years from the other service providers, maybe marketplaces as well, that providing this instant quoting experience? So, do you see any signs of that?
In the 3D printing world, it's still the same customers we've seen in the past. So it's the Xometries, it's the Proto Labs, it's the Stratasys Direct Manufacturing. Those are the companies that the people are used to, that we'll typically run into. But we've been able really to look at our customer base and bring this service to them and really engage with them on that more personal level, to be able to have conversations on what is their goal with the application, right? And being able to ensure that they're going to get the quality of the part that they want and the results that they're hoping for. But I don't think I necessarily have seen a lot more of the other competition that hasn't been out there since we started doing this a few years ago.
Yeah. So you made the decision. You felt you needed to go into e-commerce and certainly automate your quoting process. What made you choose DigiFabster? So what was, what was unique, or what made you comfortable going with DigiFabster?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because we made the decision to look for an online quoting tool is when we decided that, this is an aspect of our business that we want to get into. We want to get into 3D printing of parts. We have a longtime friend of the business who ran a very successful 3D system service bureau here in the upstate New York area, and we brought him in just to get his experience and expertise. And his first thing was get an online quoting system. Like, okay, and he had established his back in the 90s, and he paid a fortune to have it custom built.
Yep.
So we went to it and say, all right, let's go out and see what the market has to offer. And really, the reason we went with DigiFabster was it gave us the functionality that we were looking for. It gave us the ability to not only allow customers to download, upload files, to have the saved accounts and that sort of thing, and also came at an affordable price. So I think really it hit all of the marks for us to say we're looking to step into this and start this process, and it was really the right tool for us to get up and going and get our feet wet and continue to use the tool today. And it's been really a seamless, easy tool for us to use ongoing for the last couple of years.
Great. Well, I think that's a good segue. So you talked about easy to get going. That's certainly our pillars are, quick to implement and easy to use. We're purpose built. That's our mantra here internally anyway. So talk to us a little bit about that onboarding with DigiFabster. What did that look like? Who was involved from your end? How long did it take? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I thought the onboarding was fairly easy for us. So it was myself and one of our application engineers at that time who really was able to meet with the DigiFabster team. I forget the gentleman that we were teamed up with for implementation, but they really walked us through the tool and showed us the back end and what decisions and things we had to make. I would say probably within a week we were up and running, and most of that was on our own thing of going back and entering the pricing and things that we needed to do on our end and allow the system to generate. And it's been a very easy system for us to continue to use. We do regular pricing checks to make sure that we're still in the right market and be able to make those adjustments. We've added new technologies in the last year or so we've been able to get those up and running with the help from the DigiFabster team. So really the support has been very good, and the onboarding process was pretty seamless for us.
Good. We like to hear that. That's obviously something we strive for. So you talked a little bit about kind of the change in what you're able to deliver back to your customers and quick quoting and that. But what impact has DigiFabster made on your business? Have you been able to grow sales? Obviously, you talked a little bit about some of the folks you can bring in organically through AdWords and stuff. Have you been able to grow your business top line or shave a little off that overhead that you talked about? Talk a little bit about the business impact.
Yeah, I think we've been able to do a little bit of both. So we've been able to, extend our reach and access to customers, and being able to gain their files information and kind of welcome into that initial part. And build that follow-up we want to try to win their business. Something that we just know we didn't always have before, because it was, here's a form, send us your file and we'll reach out, which is much less likely that someone, I'm going to create an account and see the pricing and go from there. So it certainly has helped us grow organically and gain some new customers, some new areas that we haven't in the past. But I would say, the big impact for us is on the internal side of things. The reduction in time of our team being able to be spent focused on, talking and working with customers or finding new business for this, instead of processing parts and entering things into a spreadsheet and making sure the pricing is right and all that. So it certainly has helped us on both sides of things, and had a big impact on the behind the scenes work that not everyone takes into consideration when they look at a tool like this, but helping our own team internally be able to be much more efficient than we were in the past.
Yeah. And really allows them to focus maybe on higher value activities, right?
Absolutely. We want our sales reps making more phone calls to sell more parts. Making the quoting process for easy as is for him as is for our customers is important.
Yeah. Man, we could use a little of that, right, Constantine?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Has it changed? Maybe probably a little less common in the additive world, but what we hear a lot of CNC customers say is, we would no bid some things, right? We would no quote it if the quote didn't seem worth our time. Whereas with an automated quoting system, you can pursue different business or more intricate business. Has that been the case for you guys at all? Has it opened up your doors a little bit to more orders that you might bow out of, or I should say opportunities that you may have bowed out of previously?
I don't think there's necessarily any orders that we would have necessarily walked away with. I think it's just opened up the door for more opportunities for us to talk to more customers. Some of the settings that you have in there, you kind of know whether or not the part's going to work, but certainly it's just really opened the door more for us to speak to different types of companies and different type of applications from all over, from different areas of the country that we're not necessarily used to working with in the past.
Yeah. Well, you've been in the game a long time, it sounds like. So what do you think, what big evolution, or I don't know, small evolution, what evolution do you see in manufacturing, in the additive space coming up here in the next 3 to 5 years? What are you adjusting for, do you think?
Yeah, I think from the additive side of things, it's, as they say, crossing the chasm, right? Moving from that early adopters to that mainstream, and really making that step into the manufacturing side of things. Working with the new technology, new type of materials that we have, it's really starting to try to make a jump into being more into the production side of things and being able to support companies from a manufacturing end. What is the manufacturing industry? $14 trillion. So looking at additive and being able to say, what size of that market can we capture to grow this business? And I really think that's the next step over the next 3 to 5 years, is the technologies and things and materials have evolved where we're going to be able to support not only people from a part side of business, but also from a hardware side of the business to be in more of that production realm. Yeah,
it makes sense. Seen a lot of hybridized production as well, right? CNC and additive combining to, for full production. What is next for CADimensions? Without obviously giving away, all the secrets here, but what do you feel? What's next for you guys?
Yeah, we are focused on providing innovative tools to the engineering manufacturing community. So we are really ingrained in trying to make sure that we have the best tools and the up-and-coming tools that our customers need to continue to produce the products that they're making. So we're looking at what's the next cutting-edge type of tools to support manufacturing. We're looking at internally from CADimensions is how can we grow our own services and business to be a larger part of what we do to support those customers. So we are really looking to continue on and continue to play a role in our engineering and manufacturing community, and really bring not only new tools but new services and solutions to our customers for many, many more years to come.
Awesome. Constantine, anything else for Jeff?
I think we're good. Really, it was really great to hear the story behind the company, of course, and your opinions on the next things in manufacturing. So it's really exciting, and of course, it's great that you've been so long in the industry. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing, and the industry obviously growing very fast, which is great, and of course, like we see a lot of good signs of the adopting the manufacturing in automotive and in space, in the military space, and pretty much everywhere, which is amazing, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So exciting things happening finally.
Absolutely.
Great. Jeff, how does somebody get a hold of you if they wanted to reach out to CADimensions?
Yeah, you can go and find us on our website, www.CADimensions.com. We're on LinkedIn, Instagram. You can pick up the phone and call us if you want to as well. Not many phone calls as used to be, but a lot of ways that you can reach us. But obviously on the web, you can explore and see all the different things that we have to offer the engineering and manufacturing community.
That's awesome. Once again, Jeff Lewis with CADimensions. Thanks so much, Jeff, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for having me.
Jeff. Thanks.
You bet. See you.